What is up? I'm in my Tesla Model 3 2023. I got this in the spring of 2023. Has about 20,000 miles. It's not the Project Highland, it was the model right before that. And today I am going to a BYU football game. I live in Utah. Last night I got offered a 30-day free trial of full self-driving, 12.3.6. I've had this before a couple months ago. I didn't end up buying it or paying for it. I got it again. This is post Robo Taxi reveal. So come along with me. Let's talk about the car and let's see how this does from my neighborhood in Vineyard, Utah, all the way to Lavelle Edwards Stadium. The game is in about 2 hours. There will be traffic. I think this will be a good real world test for how this new iteration of FSD works. So come along with me and let's get this underway. So here on the screen, I've got the route. I'm going to double click and I'm engaged. Full self-driving underway for BYU and Oklahoma State here in the year 2024. I can't believe I've already had 20,000 miles on this car. This is the second Tesla Model 3 that I owned. The first one I owned was in 2019. Slowly creeping out here. And that was a really good car, and I sold it shortly after the 50,000 mile mark and got the same exact thing. Same color, same interior. There was a lot of notable changes between the 2019 one and the 2023 one. Not nearly as many as there are now. If you were to sit in a new Tesla, oh, this is interesting. We're coming up on our first stoplight, and we're going to go through to a roundabout, slowly make our way to Lavelle Edwards Stadium. But the new Project Highland, I've been in that car before. It's very legit. I love all the upgrades. I think the heated and cooled seating is really, really nice. That just feels like if you're spending the kind of money you're going to spend on a Tesla, you like to have that. So it's nice that that has that. I don't know, it feels really good. I like the interior lighting. I like the change. I like that they got rid of the fake wood paneling right here. Like, I've got the white package because I've always liked the white seats and the white interior, but I like that you can get black seats and you don't have to get the wood, so that's nice. So far, no interventions, no issue, not a lot of traffic either as I'm getting out of my neighborhood. But this is doing a really nice job. It's going a little faster than I typically would here. I'm in a 25 mile an hour zone. I'm going 36. Sometimes there's cars up ahead, up along the shoulder here. We're coming by a big park. I can't imagine on a Friday night. Oh, there's a kid on a bike. You see that there on the screen. Here's a couple cars that we need to be careful of. Here on the right, you see them parked, slowing down the speed. Does a really nice job here. So far, so good. No interventions required. Hopefully, you wouldn't need an intervention at this point because there hasn't been a lot of obstacles and a lot of traffic. The first time I did this full self-driving 30-day demo, I'm really surprised I got a second one. The first one was back in the summertime, and it was really impressive. I thought it was super smooth, but it did not handle complex situations very well. And so I would say on an average drive, I would have to intervene once or twice. I'm really curious what the improvements are here. So from here, if you can see through the windshield ahead of me, we're going straight towards Provo, towards those beautiful mountains. And there's going to be a lot more traffic. We're going to cross some busy roads. And I even think at the top of this hill, there is a detour. It'll be really interesting to see what happens at that point, because for most of the summer at the top of this hill, the road was closed because they're building a new park. So we'll see how it handles. When I initially plugged in the route that I wanted for Lavelle Edwards Stadium, it just was a straight shot, which I haven't been able to do in a long time. So this will be a really good test to see how it handles this curveball. There's signs that says detour. There's the road has been blocked off. I haven't been up here in a couple weeks, so maybe you can go all the way through. I'd be surprised if that was the case. So that'll be a good test. Some people have asked me why I bought this car in 2023, knowing that the highly rumored Project Highland was a few months away. That came out at the end of 2023, so it was more than a few months, but I wanted to take advantage of the tax credit, which I did. I got the full $7,500, and I wanted to get back under warranty. And there was a lot of upgrades too from my 2019 to my 2023 that I've really enjoyed. I have a heated steering wheel, which I'm using right now because it is really cold today, the first cold day of this next winter season here in Utah. The center console was completely redesigned. This whole side was different. In older versions, this is all white. I like that this is black. I have a power lift rear trunk, which is really nice. So I thought it was worth the upgrade, and I've been really happy with the Model 3. I won't deny that I'm keeping my eye on the Project Juniper Refresh Model Y. Because when the Highland version of this car came out, which is now just what we all know as a current Model 3, I wasn't sure if it was going to cost more. I wasn't sure if the tax credit was going to count, and it didn't at the very beginning. Now, that's, the tax credit's a part of it. I'm just curious if that's exactly how this new Model Y, if it's going to be the same price and this is still the tax credit, it would be hard not to bump up to that. Okay, here we go. Just like I thought, we have a detour here. Hey, it auto adjusted. I am impressed. Wow. Originally, it had me going all the way through. I think it recognized that there is a detour and we need to take a right, and that's exactly what we're doing. Taking the right. I am really impressed with that awareness. I don't think it could have handled that in the summer. It might have just went straight into it. Alternate route to get to Lavelle Edwards Stadium. That's exactly what I would have done. Really, really impressive. Full self-driving, autopilot. If you haven't done it, it's hard to put it into words. My wife, she still doesn't love full self-driving and autopilot. Oh, man. Woo. I woke up early today. A couple little kids that wake me up early, but my wife doesn't trust it. And the first couple times you do it, it is a little trippy, but wow. So far, this feels not much different than when I'm driving the car. I'm a little more aggressive than this. I would have pulled up further. We're still a far way behind the crosswalk. Can't see quite as good left or right, but it's inching up. I would have done that more aggressively. But the fact that a computer and a car just pulled that off, really impressive. And I'm getting quite comfortable with this. There's some complex situations up ahead, however. We're still in a residential neighborhood in Orem, Utah. Chiefs flag, Cougs flag, go Cougs. We're getting towards the busy, congested area in Orem. We're 4.5 miles away from Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Every half mile we get closer, there's going to be more and more traffic. Kickoff is less than 2 hours now. We'll see how it handles, because I don't know exactly what it's going to do in terms of, will it try and take a left and go a back road? That's what I originally wanted to. Had to reroute because of the detour to try to get back to that. or does it join up with the busiest road heading into Lavador Stadium? We'll have to see. If you're watching this and you don't have a Tesla, what are you waiting for? I tell people all the time, this is the best car I've ever owned. Oh man, the fatigue. It's going to be a late night too. When I bought this car, there were several reasons I wanted the car. Number one, I love the technology. Look at this. No hands on the wheel. My feet aren't on the wheel. Big screen, great technology. This thing has come so far in almost the 5 years that I've owned a Tesla in terms of the tech, the upgrades. Not just full self-driving, but just general everyday use. I mean, you can watch TV on this thing. You can have a karaoke party on this thing. There's light shows. There's plenty of streaming options for music. And there's been a lot of really useful features that have come out in those 5 years that I didn't have originally. Sentry mode, the ability to look at your cameras, although you do need the premium subscription, wherever you're parked, to review footage of events that happened. That wasn't there originally. The drive mode, where when you come to a stop, this fatigue is killing me. When you come to a stop, it goes into a hold, which is really nice, especially on hilly areas. Okay, I like the route we'll come back to this. I like the route that we're taking. We're coming up on what we call State Street here in Orem, Utah. There's 2 lanes that go straight through. It just picked the left one, and I'm okay with that. I might have picked the right one personally, but this is totally fine. Creeping up, waiting for our turn. Oh, man. Woo! Oh. So the technology has come a long way. I mean, let's just look in the screen here while the auto mode, keeping the temperature, which is, I exclusively use that. Set the temp. Works perfectly, maintains that temperature. That's new since I first owned a Tesla. Autopilot, that's obviously new. Let's get into this whole menu here is new. Things that have been added. Oh, look, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, that's new. I would never use those, but that's there. There's karaoke. Arcade, I can't play because I'm in full self-driving. Toy box, lots of different things. Romance, Santa, it's fun during Christmas time. Technology's been great. I wanted a high-tech car. I've gotten that. Absolutely. One of the things I really wanted, and something that really frustrates me in the auto industry, is how if you, oh man, if you buy a new car from a lot of other dealers, say you buy a 2024 Toyota whatever, the 2025 version is going to look very similar, possibly, depending on the 4 or 5 year cycle. But inside there'll be a few little changes to differentiate it. And so depending on when you buy that car, that might already be dated in terms of the way that it looks, the way that it feels, the way that it behaves. The cars get old fast, and it feels like you're missing out on technology, and it's frustrating to feel like you bought a car. Okay, I've got 2 seconds left here on this light. Okay, didn't go yellow. I didn't want to slam on the brakes. I wouldn't have done that. That's good. Going through another light here, and then getting down to a main road in Provo. This has done a fantastic job. And as I've been talking to you, I'm paying attention, of course, but I'm not locked in, gripped on the wheel. It's doing a really nice job. It feels comfortable. Like, if this is the base version of what the Robotaxi is going to get, and of course it's going to get a lot better before that's ever launched, maybe I will feel comfortable taking that, because that's a scary thought, jumping in a cab with no steering wheel, no driver. But this has been so smooth, so easy, no craziness. Anyways, what I was saying earlier about why one of the reasons I wanted a Tesla was I liked that they don't refresh these very often. This car came out in 2017. It didn't get refreshed until the end of 2023. The same look, little tweaks, just like the Toyota, but not nearly as identifiable. It just feels like, okay, you can have this car for a long time and it's not going to change incrementally very much, if at all. Of course, there's been changes to the battery packs and paint colors and that type of stuff, but by and large, you sit in here, it feels very similar to other cars. You wouldn't know that this isn't current unless you're a Tesla diehard. And I like that feel. I like knowing that the car that I chose, which is this one, I love the inside, I love the look. It's the next version and the version like the next year, the year after, they're all going to be very similar. It's going to feel like I'm still current and modern. I still feel that way, even though there has been a refresh since I bought this one, and I knew about that. Okay, we're going to take a right up here in a moment to get onto a busy road and head into Lavelle Edwards Stadium. This has done a great job. I am thoroughly impressed. This has been a breeze. I think one of the other things too is I just wanted an electric car. I liked the idea of being futuristic. And I think there's still a lot of misconceptions out there about range anxiety, real world driving. This is a standard range. I don't know if they call it standard range anymore. In fact, I don't think they do. This is just your base level. It's not long range. It's not dual motor. Started out with over 270 miles of usable range, and this particular battery pack, the LFP battery type, you charge to 100% every time you charge, recommended at least once a week, so you're always starting at 100%. My previous Model 3, you wanted to stay between 80 and 90, and it got to a point where its starting point was sub 200 miles, which did feel a little light. Okay, opportunity right before we went green. We need to change lanes here in a minute. We'll see if it does that successfully. And back to my previous point, though, even then when it was the starting point, because it was 80%, a little degradation, sub 200 miles, I still rarely felt like I didn't have enough range in a typical day. And now with this newer LFP battery version, I've degraded a little bit over the 20,000 miles over a year and a half. I've probably lost 3 or 4% of its max capacity, but I can drive all day anywhere I want to go, not a problem. Road trips, long range would be better for road trips, I won't deny that, but it's not bad. I could go from here to Las Vegas and charge 3 times, not all the way to full. Get out, go to the bathroom, stretch your legs, maybe get a snack, get back in the car, and off you go. Like, range anxiety is so overblown, and as this starts to get closer to base level 300, long range 400, 500, no concern whatsoever. It is, and I can't tell you how nice it is to not go to a gas station. You're not touching the pump. You're not worried about fraud. You're charging at home. And if you're lucky like I am here in the state of Utah, I have a couple different jobs. I'm a radio host for KSL. I do Cougar Sports Saturday with Mitch Harper. KSL is free charging. Another job I have, I work for Vivint Smart Home. Do some finance stuff with them. They have free charging. So I don't even pay that much for charging. I know that's not the same situation for everyone, but I think a lot of people have access to charging at work. If there's supercharging nearby, that's not free unless we're making a lane change. We're gonna jump in. Great. No big deal. Jumped right in front of this Ford, but it wasn't crazy. Nice, slow stop. No jerkiness as we get into traffic. Except I don't want to go left, so I'm probably gonna have to end this full self-driving. But wow, guys, I'm really impressed at how well this is done. I don't know if it'll be able to get into the parking lot because it's a huge stadium parking lot. I'm not going to do that. We're going to go straight. We'll see if we can keep doing this. It's getting confused. Okay. I ended the full self-driving demo, but it did an awesome job. Thoroughly impressed. It's hard to imagine where it's going to be in a year, 2, 3 years, because right now it's really, really good. It's come a long way. I would maybe consider paying for it after this because it is so impressive. Anyways, there was a trip in the new full self-driving version 12.316. If you have the chance, highly recommend a test drive. Go experience this for yourself. See if a Tesla down the road is in the cards for you, because I love it. I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, take care.